Okay, so welcome everyone to today's Ingenuity 7 walkthrough. So Denise will be kicking off the session today, followed by Joel, who will be demonstrating a real example of a production allocation proof of concept. We will be recording this session today, and also just to let you know, I've posted a link within the chat box where you can request any future training topics. Okay, so over to you, Denise.
Thank you, Amanda. Okay, let me start sharing my screen. Okay, there we go. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, we're gonna start with adding a source with CMS. And well, the first step would be to access the CMS login for the environment that we want to make those changes to. Then we're going to click in data sources. And here we can see different data sources that we have. And we are going to click on create data source. I've already started one, so let's just go ahead with this one. This is carbon intensity generation mix. And here we have the name. This is a name which we're going to see in our options, in our drop-down options in the dashboard. So then it's important to have the proper name. Here we can add a quick description. Let's just put test for carbon intensity generation mix. Okay, name ID. Let's just put carbon intensity generation mix. There we go. And in here in configuration, first we have the URL, which is the endpoint for the API request. Then we have the HTTP request method, which in this case is GET. In this case, we're not going to put any inputs, or no inputs are required for this particular data source. An example of inputs could be, for example, if we are going to show this based on dates, then maybe the input could be the beginning and the end date for which period of time we want the data from. But in this is not the case for this example, so we're just going to leave it as it is. And then in output, this is sort of the pattern that we're going to follow. So we're going to have different fuels, and we have biomass, coal, imports, gas. What else do we have? Nuclear, other, hydropower, solar, and wind. So this is the sort of the pattern that we have to add for each of those fuels. So then this I'm just gonna copy. And here it will be changing to the next fuel, which would be coal. And then here we can also change, we should also change to coal. And this path is just telling it how to retrieve the data. In this case, the data that we're going to retrieve from this is a percentage of how much of coal is being generated, or how much of the energy generation is provided by coal, biomass, etc. So then, and then we continue with the rest of them. Let me see. There we go. I think this should be fine.
We're fine.
So in this, we're gonna put imports. And then here as well, we have to remember to write the correct name this time. Then we have a gas. Nuclear. Hydro. Solar. Wind. Okay. And that's about it. And the last one, we don't need this comma. And then we close and we close. Yes. The use proxy would be false. And then this compatible with is to, this will change depending on how you want to display the information. In this case, we're going to use this for a dial. And then the information has to be compatible with value or multi-value. On other examples, maybe you would like it to be compatible with a chart or any other options. And then once that we're done with this, then we can click on Save Changes. There we have it. It's been saved. Then we go to our dashboard and we select the dial that we want to. Let's make it around this size, should be okay. And here in value, here we have the sources, and then we look for the source that we just created, which is carbon intensity generation mix. And then this will give us the options of the fuels that we just input in that source. So let's start with biomass, and let's put maybe red, should be fine. We add another item. Again, we select the source, we select the option. This one we'll put coal in black, and so on. Imports. Here you will see how it's looking, and once that we are okay with it, we can click update, and then this will be updated in the dashboard. This is done just in case that the changes that you make here, let's imagine you have something already set and you want to change a color or something, and you change it and you don't like it how it is here in this view, then you can just click on any other part of the dashboard, and then the changes will be they won't be saved until you click the update. So then we have import. We can see gas. Nuclear. Oops, I didn't change the color of gas. Did I? Oh no, it's okay. Just trying to remember all the colors and not putting them twice. Okay, we were in nuclear, then other. Hydro. Oh, this one is gonna be green. Solar. And wind, which is the last one. Okay. Then we click update, and then we can see it here. this looks okay, but I want it to be like a pie chart. So then we're gonna go to format rings, and here we have different options. What I want is to change the ring thickness. Now it is at 40, and we're gonna change it to 100. And then we can see it becomes like a pie chart. We can save this, and when we hover over, we can see, oh, yep, click on save. And once that we hover over it, we can see the percentage that each of them has. We can also, if we want, we can select format units, and we can, oh, sorry, it was in value, show value. And then we can see here all the numbers, and it would look something like this if we want to have them on the dashboard all the time. That can be just one of the options.
Yeah.
Yes, so then this is how we add a new source in CMS.
Yeah.
And this was an example of an external API that we got. The next example is going to be
one question. So this is a public available API, right?
Yes,
We just
it is public.
to it. Okay, it's offered
Yeah.
by the UK government, I suppose.
Yeah.
And so we're basically connecting to that
and getting the information.
Configuring the data source, which is pretty easy from the front end, and then using it to drive a KPI widget.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And yeah, the next example would be how to add thresholds to charts. We're gonna recreate this chart, which we can see it has four things measured in the graph. We have a tag or a random value in this case, and then we have different sections, different colors, sort of to determine if we're within range or if we are falling in the yellow zone or we are crossing the red line. So first, let's one moment. Let's add a chart below. Let's make it around this size. In here, when we add a chart, we get just a random number generated by default. So we can keep this one, actually, it's okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go out of edit mode. We're gonna come here to hide this menu at the top, and actually I need to open it again. We're gonna hide the legend, and then we're gonna hide this so that we just have just the chart. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add an item, and we are going to select historian servlet, and here we can add different things. We can add just a tag, we can add a constant number or a calculation. So yeah, in here you can start looking for tags in different sources. And if you want a calculation, you can start dragging and dropping different calculations. In this case, we are just gonna use a constant number. Let's say we're within 15 and 25. So let's say the red area would be from 0 to 5. Let's say, so then it would be 5. And here we're gonna select the color red. And the trick is to go in here. And here we can select if it's on the left axis or right axis. And by default, it is the chart type is a line. And we're gonna change to a stacked area. There we go. And let's update it. There we have it. And next, we're gonna add another one, which would be the yellow area. Let's say from 5 to 15. Yeah, 5 to 15. So that would be 10. We select the color yellow that we prefer, and then we go back to here and change it to stacked area. Then we click on update. Oh, okay. There we have it. Oh, here it should be story and servlet. There we go.
Mm.
Let's just check stacked area. Yeah, because what happened here is it started counting from 0 again. So then that's why our red is no longer red and it's yellow, orange. It's because they are overlapping. So now let's click on update. Servlet.
It's so valid.
10.
Mm.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And lastly, story and servlet. And then let's say another 10 from 15 to 25. And then here, stacked area. Oh, I didn't select the color green. There we go. And if we want to add other colors, we can add them here. And we can play with the transparency of it. So let's just add that one.
Mm.
Update. There we go. And another important thing for when we do this is sometimes the lines that you have on top of this may seem a little bit blurred with the colors behind it. The things get graphed in the order that are here. So first we have this one, which is this random number here that we can see. And then on top of that we have, or after that we have the others. So then if we want to make sure that that one is going last or on top of the base colors, which are our ranges, we can just move them so that this would be after, that this would be at the end. And then maybe with this one is not such a good example because this color green I made very transparent, but you can also see it in other colors. And same for this, since this is a stacked areas, if we change the order of these areas, then we change the order in which they are beginning sort of or counting. If we change this to here, then click update, then the yellow will be first. So it's important to keep in mind the order in which we add these stacked areas because they are stacked after all. And if we want to add just one, let's say threshold as just one line, we can just add the number, I don't know, let's say 10 again, and just make sure this should be in line. And let's select a color, let's say blue. And then we will have the constant line. This was very useful in one of the projects because we had one calculation, which was the recommendation dosage and the current dosage. So then if this calculation was over 0, then it means that you needed to dose more. And if it was below 0, then it means you're overdosing and you should reduce the dosage that you're adding. So then we will have a threshold of 0, and then it will be easier to see when the line surpasses the 0 and when you should add more and when you should lower your dose. So then we can just save, and there we have it.